Vultures Unreviewable?
This is completely unreviewable trash, and here's why. Question: what is even the purpose of a music review in the first place? I can say, at least in terms of my own intent, that when I do a music review, I hope to achieve a couple of things. One, give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or two, excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the two things I want to do. Problem: neither of those goals are possible in any scenario that involves reviewing this album. Newsflash: since 2022, Kanye has made it his mission to go full-on anti-Semite, spouting insane conspiracy theories, talking about how he loves Hitler, and at some point I think he realized how much he fucked up with all of that, so now he has to own this total dumpster fire he's created and boast about how people think he's anti-Semitic now, because yeah, they do. Even if he does genuinely apologize and change his behavior past this point, his public image is forever altered by all of this. I mean, you platformed a booger-eating white supremacist and have guys like this repping for you on a highway overpass. This is not a can of worms a guy like Kanye is capable of closing, not without help from someone who is willing to tell him no. But he spent this same period of time pushing away anybody who could possibly do that at this point, especially his wife, who he has now replaced with somebody who he just like kind of parades around like she's a naked body with no personality, opinion, or was somehow good. What am I supposed to do? Tell the Jews in my audience, "Aw, come on, man, he didn't mean it. It's not so bad. He's just a little crazy, that's all." Especially since...
Chat. When were these efforts, chat? When he was reviewing the fucking albums and the fucking things people were saying to rappers that kill people, dude. What do you think about the families that had fucking...
Bro, I'm sorry. This is the dumbest fucking take of all time, dude. Holy fuck. Think about the families. Yeah. No, the reason why this is a fucking idiotic argument is because it basically says like, well, you don't care about the families, and I don't care about someone saying they love Adolf Hitler. Okay? So unless you literally love Adolf Hitler, don't make this argument. Okay? It's such a weird fucking take. I don't think Felix is a Nazi sympathizer, so why is he assuming the role of one in this circumstance? Okay? Because he is such a fucking product of the internet that he thinks, well, a gotcha of assumed hypocrisy is actually pretty solid. That's it. That's enough. There is a gotcha here that I believe exists, like someone is a rich socialist or some shit like that. What rappers is he talking about? I would love to find out what rappers he thinks Anthony Fantano is like talking about with respect to like who they've murdered and how they've written about how they've murdered people versus, I guess, like King Von, maybe, I don't know, or what's the name of the other guy? Probably think about YSL people. That doesn't count because that wasn't out when he was reviewing those albums. But as far as like, I guess like Melly, yeah, YW Melly, that could be another one. But I think it was after, like the King Von stuff came out after he died. KK, maybe, I don't know. Regardless. Fantano reviewed Burzum. It's definitely a King Von reference. Most rappers are fake anyways. They actually don't hit the dirt. Anyway, as far as like Burzum goes, it wasn't when Burzum came out, was it? King Von is a known killer before he died. No, there's a alleged killer is different than like fully confirmed. Anyway, regardless, people talking about their own life experiences, violence being a constant part of that, is not the same as like someone who is literally going that they openly stating that they love Adolf Hitler. A better, more adequate comparison here would be if someone is a promoter of Adolf Hitler, who Anthony Fantano has actually reviewed, okay, or has promoted. But I can't think of anyone that is as popular as Kanye West that has been an outspoken defender of Adolf Hitler. So I don't know. I don't know what would be like a good example here to show hypocrisy. Does that make sense?
Voice. Something that on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to this record, he calls her just a reference, which is maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing.
Wait, what?
That on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to this record, he calls her just a reference, which is maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing things Kanye has said about a woman on any of his songs, and it's being directed at his wife. So this trajectory Kanye has been on as of late has left him with an interesting mix of fans. One, hateful psychos that actually agree with some of the stuff that he's been saying, and are actually in my Twitter mentions theorizing that I'm a Jew, and that's the reason I don't really like his recent music. Two, anonymous nihilistic teenagers that don't really think anything he says or does has any greater consequence in the world, and are most likely bored and lonely and will just defend Kanye because watching him unravel is more entertaining than most things, and I guess brings some kind of meaning to their otherwise meaningless lives. And three, cultish weirdos who parasocially obsess over him and everything he does, and would basically follow him to the ends of the earth. Keep in mind, these individuals have always been in his fan base to some degree, but prior they were at least mixed in with genuine hip-hop heads. Now, these three types of people, and there is overlap between them in Kanye's fan base, don't want to hear anything critical about him at all, ever. They've openly rejected any good faith effort I've made to make them aware of Kanye's downward spiral into Nazi adjacent rhetoric and now imagery in the promotion of this record. The point is, there's no hope of having any level-headed conversation with somebody who is like deep into the Kanye fandom at this point. People who literally think anything and everything he does is great and will write off any bit of dissent as just being biased and unfair to him, as if he's Jesus Christ and can do no wrong. So yeah, there's no convincing them, which I will say is also the case for people who have left the Kanye reservation over the past several years, because there are a fair share of people who are validly pissed off about everything Kanye's been saying and doing recently, and feel like it's totally beyond the pale, and even if this record was somehow good, what am I supposed to do? Tell the Jews in my audience, "Aw, come on, man, he didn't mean it. It's not so bad. He's just a little crazy, that's all." Especially since he's not doing anything to gain forgiveness. He is very apparently not sorry for anything he's been saying or doing, and the apologies he has given aren't worth a lick of shit, because he'll think nothing of saying Jesus Christ, Hitler, yay, sponsor that, not too long after. Now, there are some people who will say, "Anthony, you're being unfair here. Separate the art from the artist. Come on now. You can't separate this crap from the music because it's in the music. Look at the lyrics. Read these words. They have..."
How I'm anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. I just fucked Scooter's bitch and we ran her like Olympics.
Meaning, and they are saying things that are not good or normal. You would have to expect me to separate my brain from my skull if you think I'm just going to ignore it. I think this comment here pretty much sums things up. We don't care as long as the album is good. His personality and what he says doesn't matter to me. I only care about the music. How do you penetrate this level of self-imposed ignorance? This person is not listening to Kanye. He's not listening to anything I or anyone has to say about Kanye. And this comment was posted after the album was released, so he's apparently not even listening to the content of the music that he supposedly cares so much about. So this argument about, "I only care about the music," can't possibly be true, especially since the music too is shit. The song Paid is one of the most unintentionally hilarious tracks I think Kanye has ever put out. It's just a crappier version of Fade. Why wouldn't you just listen to Fade? You'd have to be delusional to think anything else, especially with this trash-ass verse from Ye, and Ty Dolla $ign on it is just amazing, saying that he's just here to get paid. At least he's honest. Then back to me with that Jay and Silent Bob chorus has to be one of the dumbest things I've heard on any Kanye album ever. I feel like I'm being punked. But naked, beautiful, big titty bitches don't just fly into the sky, you know. At least Freddie Gibbs somehow made it flow, but yeah, that dude is as good as he is at rapping, he cannot save this track. Then Hood Rat has maybe one of the most excruciatingly bad instrumentals on any Kanye album ever. The mix is a mess, and God, those repetitions of Hood Rat, Hood.
Reminder that Fantano has done Burzum album reviews, a band led by a literal Nazi who's burnt down churches and synagogues and murdered a man for being homosexual. Fantano's a smug hag telling you what you want to hear for engagement when he has no moral backbone. Reminder, I talked about what an asshole he is in those reviews and stopped covering his music because his fans pretty much act the same way Ye's most toxic fans act now. Nazi shit and all. Lies by omission are still lies, buddy. I actually went back and watched that Burzum review. At the end of the video, he literally says, just so you guys know, I'm probably going to stop reviewing his albums in the future because of this. It's so funny that people are mad, but he like actually said he wasn't going to review the album, and he then reviewed the album. Like, I guess they're just mad he doesn't give it a score at the end. Is that what it is? It's pretty funny that Kanye dick riders, for some weird reason, I guess don't listen to the music, but still ride for Kanye on principle. And then they don't even fucking... It's not really a review. It's just a response to everything. Everyone telling him to review it. I mean, he's saying it's a bit of a review to be like, it is unreviewable, and here's why.
Herd rat. I mean, I guess it kind of drowns out all the other stuff about the track. So that's kind of a silver lining. But almost none of that matters because there is so little to praise with this record. And if Kanye's delusional fans are not hearing that this record is awful on its face as they just kind of listen to it by themselves, nothing I'm going to say is going to convince them. But if you really want a general assessment of this thing, it sounds like a slightly more finished Donda 2. Somehow Jesus is King had more songs on it that sounded more cohesive, well put together, which is saying something because that was previously Kanye's shortest, messiest, most unhinged and crappy record yet, and somehow this surpassed it. And at least in my mind, has achieved the status of being Kanye's worst album. And given that the sequel tends to be a step down from the original in Kanye's case most of the time, the rest of the Vultures series from this point is not looking good. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Bye.
Hold on 1 second. I still have not heard any full album after Life of Pablo. I've never understood the Kanye love. I always thought he was an overrated asshole. I mean, I don't think he's an overrated asshole. I think he is an asshole, but I don't think he was overrated. I think now he's overrated. Why is the top reviewer of hip-hop white? I mean, that's your problem that you think he's the top reviewer of hip-hop. It's kind of a you thing, isn't it? Who said he's the top reviewer of hip-hop? I mean, he's a music reviewer. He's the internet's busiest music nerd. We get it, Slatty. He didn't fucking review Cardi. Oh my god.
funeral. She ride a dick like a carnival. I done did the impossible. She ride dick like a carnival. Been over having faith.
She ride dick like a carnival. Okay, let's just continue on. Jesus Christ. She ride dick like a
Yeah, bro, this is like the Kanye West fans are. I mean, the Kanye West fans. Can you imagine being some guy with music opinions and 6,000 people agree they want to shoot you? Except it's now 17,000. Okay. And for the record, this is literally everything on Twitter. This is everything I live on a daily fucking basis. Ironically, by those who are probably also Kanye fans. Because it's mostly just like Twitter is just a Nazi shithole. Okay. Also, people have absolutely hated Fantano for a very long time for this specific reason. But I think like the intensity and the severity of the death threats absolutely has gotten way worse as a consequence of who he's up against here, Kanye being the guy.